We are live according to YouTube. What's good, my man? State.
Hey, my brother.
What's good, man? Busy day in New York sports, huh? Everybody's trying to do spaces today. Everybody's doing podcasts today.
Everybody, everybody want to do something, man.
Yeah, but they can't do. It's a segue, right? But they can't do don't have state of mind, right? Yep, we back. Oh man, so I mean, this thing you brought this to my attention. This whole Dolan thing. I think that's I don't think we would ever come this close to this. But he might sell the team, right?
Yep. I mean, I think if you got the link up, if you could let it play,
Yeah.
so people could actually listen to what was said. But yeah, from what I've gotten from that video is basically, James Dolan might sell the team next summer, and that the revenue, this concert sports revenue that's in Vegas, they're going to move over to Vegas, and the Dolans might move over to Vegas, and they might want to sell Madison Square Garden, and that's a good thing. I know this always happens like every 2-3 years. They come out with these stories in the summer about Dolan selling the team, but I think right now it's like really plausible. I think it can happen. I think it can happen by 2024, and 2024 is the new CBA. So with the new TV deal coming up, you would think that James Dolan could sell the Knicks to the highest bidder. I don't know who would buy the Knicks right now, or who got that type of money, but hey, if he wants to sell, kudos to James Dolan, and let's go, man. Because I'm tired of hearing people saying they don't want to play for Dolan.
Well, I mean, another thing too with this selling stuff is that the Knicks they don't own MSG, they don't own the property at MSG. They're renting the property. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have it. I'm trying to see if I could get it now, but I mean, I don't know. Like it says 2022. I said I don't know, but anyway, it's a lease. So whenever the lease is up, they would have to sign another lease. So that's why there was talked about the Knicks moving to the West Side Highway at one point. And they were going to move it further south and further north or whatever, because Madison Square Garden is just an entity. It's not the building itself. Just like this deal is MSG MSG Sports Company, whatever the fuck it's called. It says it right there. MSG Sports, it's just a company. It's not the building. So that's interesting.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. I wanna basically you about to play the video, so I guess we can let this go right now.
Let's play it.
One you've liked for a long time, kind of I guess a sum of the parts asset play, but what's the current case?
The current case is right now the enterprise value is about $4.7 billion. The Knicks were just valued at about $6 billion. So essentially, you're getting paid to own the Rangers.
The Knicks are owned by the company, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Knicks are owned as well as the Rangers.
Yes.
So it's a sum of the parts play. Their sister company, Madison Square Garden Entertainment, is currently about to finish a project in Las Vegas called The Sphere. And we think it's likely that after that is done, James Dolan, who controls the company, will sell the teams. Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting is private equity has gotten involved in a big way. And it wouldn't surprise us to put a marker on one or both of the teams if private equity decides to take a stake. It's worth noting that Silver Lake owns about 9% of the company. The Egyptian billionaire owns about 5% of the company. So there's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah, it's obviously hidden value, but there has to be a reason that the market won't pay for it now. Is there a tax liability? Is it just like you never know when this might happen?
I think it's you don't never know what's going to happen with the Dolans. You have that Dolan discount, but we've investing alongside them for a long time, and it's been quite profitable. You just have to be patient. And most investors, as you know, want instant gratification. This is not an instant gratification stock, but a stock where you could conceivably double your money over the next couple of years. Plus, they're a huge beneficiary of legalized sports gambling. It's now their largest,
most of this conversation here at the end, they're really talking about stocks and investing and stuff like that.
And I think, whether they sell part or all the team. And the one thing to also note is the best thing that Dolan could have done over the past decade has not been to sell the team. Essentially, it's just gone up and up and up in value, and it's been a great move for shareholders.
Yeah, despite the fact that many people in New York have wanted him to do that for a very long time.
They got to throw that in there at the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
let me take the whole shot of this, man.
Well, I mean, listen, it's a loaded thing, man. Because in my opinion, I don't think the Dolans would ever sell a team because the simple fact, like the father passed down the team to his son.
Yes,
because it was he's James Dolan, and I forgot what the father's name is, Jim Dolan.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
So, like, my family owns the liquor store, right? That's something that my grandfather had passed down to my uncle and my dad, right? And that's something hopefully they will want to pass down to me, my cousin, and them. And that's something that we want to pass down to, the next generation, so to have a steady income is generational wealth.
Right. And not only that, it means something to your family. It's something that you guys built, whatever, and it's something that can be passed on. And also, too, that business wasn't always in the same spot, right? It was in a different spot before.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same thing like MSG. They don't own the building. It's the entity, the business. You know what I'm saying? So the business won't die. You can always move the business around.
Right.
So like I was just trying to say, like it was Jim Dolan was the owner, and then it's James Dolan, the one that everybody hates. But then James Dolan has like 3 sons and like a couple daughters, whatever. His son, I hear, is a real asshole. Like you think Dolan is bad, our Dolan is bad. His son, the oldest son, is like something else too. So he might pass on the Knicks to his son. So then we might get double of what we've been getting all this whole time, man. So you got to be careful what we ask for with this thing.
Yeah, I really don't. It doesn't bother me. Dolan don't bother me. He bothers you.
I got him as when I do the Dire Knicks by myself and shit. I got him on the side there like that. What I'm saying? Just to remind everybody, this motherfucker's playing guitar, and he's doing other business things outside of what's going on with the Knicks. Because he's a billionaire for a reason. He got the money from his dad, but right now he's in charge of everything. So he's been able to, and keep increasing his wealth as time goes on. Not just because of the Knicks, he does other shit. Doing with the entertainment and stuff like that. So he's a successful businessman. So you got to put some respect on his name in that regard.
Very successful businessman by that. And he's, like I said before, he's hired the most minorities in professional basketball. And I'm glad the guy from Twitter who always posts everything, he posted a report that showed that the Knicks has the most minorities amongst their staff in the whole NBA. And that's for an owner who people have claimed in the past, James Dolan is racist and this, that, and the third. Charles Barkley, you could go fuck yourself. No, not Charles Barkley. Charles Oakley. Excuse me, Charles Barkley. My bad, Barkley. My bad.
Isn't that funny? Back in days, we would be like, fuck Barkley. But now Barkley got more respect than Oakley in New York City right now.
But, man, people kill me, man, when they talk about James Dolan sometimes, man. I just feel like me personally put a lot of black people in positions to succeed, but not just black people, a lot of minorities in general, man.
Yeah. Well, you can see the screen right there. There's a few minorities in this picture. Yep. I see a black guy standing right there. You got a couple women in that group there, a lot of stuff going on there. I don't know who they are, but I'm just talking about it. But MSG Studios, it's called Sphere Studios, open up in Vegas. So it's a big opportunity to expand, just like not just sports and just to expand sports in general. So if they open this, they could probably like host like Summer League next year or like start doing other big events at this thing, man. So it's a good idea, for them.
It is, man. It is, man. People will forever shit on the Knicks, man. We can never like get a saving grace nowhere. Like even when I had put up the RJ tweet and asked dudes like, yo, why you get these takes on RJ? Like, why do you feel like this about RJ Barrett? And you know, these dudes are content creators like myself and you and I. Like, we try to put out good content, but we try to put out how we really feel. You get what I'm saying? It don't even be us who be shitting on our team like that, because we try to at least be honest. Yo, fans of other teams really rag on the Knicks, like, and it's fun to them. It's fun. But I don't like that shit, bro.
The guys that you referencing, man, like I agree with them. I agree with them. You know, so I was kind of waiting on you to bring it up. But it's these guys here, right? What was the Hoop Sessions?
Oh, you can play the video, and I can tell you the reason why I don't like what the fuck they said. Even though a lot of the math stats, what they said was factually correct.
Yeah,
even though what they said was the math is correct, but I love context. I can't talk Knick basketball with somebody who's a fan of 3 teams, Eru. I can't do it. I can't even take first. I can't even diss your team because I don't even know who the fuck you root for. That's 1. 2. How the fuck am I gonna have an argument with an OKC fan, Eru? Eru, that's like a weed smoker telling a coke user how to sniff.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Or a heroin addict telling a weed guy to come on, man, straighten up. You know, you look crazy. Come on, man, straighten up. Like, dude, you're a heroin addict. What the fuck are you talking about?
And okay, cool. RJ Barrett, yeah, he misses layups. All right, cool. Jason Tatum missed the most dunks and layups in the NBA last season. Next was Franz Wagner. But I need context behind everything. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to talk shit,
what's the context? What's the context?
But Eru, you give me context when you talk shit. You give me context. Don't rag on my boy when it's 3 people, it's 3 black folk on the camera, it's one white folk on the camera. You repeatedly saying the N-word, you're disrespecting RJ Barrett, you're disrespecting content culture, you're disrespecting people who have generally good takes. If you're gonna shit on somebody, do it in a respectful way. That's all I'm saying. But if you're gonna shit on a Knick player and I get wind of it, you gonna get the smoke. And this is Randall included. I'm done with other guys from other teams dissing our team, bro. I'm done with that. Me and you can shit on RJ Barrett all the time we want.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. You got to be a fan of the team. Same thing, like I got this shirt here on the side here. You get this thing together. This shirt here on the side, it says keep the Knicks name out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that all day. If you're not a fan of the Knicks, shut up. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know, but at the same time, if the guys start talking and they do know what they're talking about, then it's like, okay. You know, what can you really say, you know?
It depends, though. Because I felt like they didn't know what the fuck they was talking about. If you want to play the video, we can. And you could tell. And you need to stop. And matter of fact, you need to stop at every point that you agree with in that video. Matter of fact, play the video.
Play the video.
We had fun today.
I was gonna say let's see if we can get them on or something.
I need Eru on prime form. I need Eru on pistol because you're not mad right now. I don't like that. I don't like
to be mad. Why you want me to be
I don't
mad?
like when you smiling. It's not it when you smiling and stuff like that, like how you are now. I don't like that. I need Eru when he's pissed off. I need that guy. Let's take a listen to this.
You can see the potential. But I'm just telling y'all, he's not reaching that shit. Okay, he can't make.
What's wrong with that? I think I could see the potential, but I don't think he's gonna reach it. I agree with him. I agree with him. Yeah, but the funny shit about it though, like all RG got to do is clean up his efficiency, and he'd be good money.
Efficiency, you.
Yo, the dude can't make layups with his left or right hand. The only way he can make a layup is if he has a full sprint towards the basket. Like if he's going full court and he has a straight lane, or somebody gives him a pick and he can get to the basket, then he's good. But as soon as he gets cut off, he has no way of countering that.
I will admit, he has no touch around the rim. Okay, y'all got that.
But he can't shoot either. He can't. His free throw percentage is bad, and he shoots 40% from the field for his career.
Okay. Jaylen Brown free throw percentage was bad too his first 3 years.
Yeah, I know, but you got to deal with today, not something that didn't happen yet.
Yeah, but I understand that, but he didn't shoot under 70% from the free throw. Are we saying that his ceiling is capped already at 21 years old? That's what I mean. That's why I disagree with that statement. Because it sounds like he's just capping him off at 21, like he can't get better.
But in sports, it's a what do you call it? Show me? It's a show me league. Like this guy, what's the quarterback for the Giants? What's his name?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. A lot of people hate Daniel Jones, right?
I hate him too.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones, he does have a skill set that people could cap for him, just like people cap for RJ Barrett. Because the guy could run. He could run pretty good. He can throw off the run. He's not very accurate, but he's still young and he can still get there. You know what I'm saying? So like this year could be his year. He sucked the first 2 years, and this year all of a sudden he could become an NFL quarterback. It's only his 3rd year. Same thing with RJ. RJ is entering his 4th year. In his 4th year, he can end up being a star player this year, right now. He can clean up everything, and all of a sudden he's here. Same thing. They're in the same boat.
They are. I'm not really. I don't get mad at when people point out deficiencies. I mean, we don't like. I don't care about that, but just make sure you have context behind everything like that. Just make sure it's always basketball talk. Like, don't be saying dude is trash, dude suck, this, that, and third. Just put some context behind that. I watched the fucking packed paint all season long, and we had some of the worst space. So if you want to use this excuse for Randall, we can use it for RJ too. If you want to put them both in the same category, okay, cool. But we was graded F, a good F, when it came to spacing on the court last season, the whole season. So, and what's crazy is, Eru, y'all looked at our starting 5 field goal percentage. I'm talking about just the field goal percentage. Alec Burks shot 41% from the field. Evan Fournier, RJ, and Randall shot 41% from the field.
Horrible.
That's on the coach. That can't be on just those guys.
Right.
What the fuck positions is Thibodeau putting these guys in to succeed?
Well, he's not. There's a video. I don't know if I have it queued here. Let me look and see if it's in the videos. It's that we're always talking about it, how they I forgot what they technical. All these coaches have a specific thing for this play, where it's 2 men on one side, 2 men on the other side, and 1 guy on the top. But we watched the college team do the same play, and they got movement off of that. The Knicks get the 2 men on the side and 1 guy in the middle, and the play is dead. You know what I'm saying? And that's what killed a lot of what we do. Julius needs RJ and Julius need a pick. A simple pick will get them all the way to the basket.
Yeah, but can we get guys who know how to set screens? This is your beef with Mitchell Robinson too.
Yeah.
I got a low-key beef with Randall about that. I got a beef with Evan Fournier and Alec Burks won't be in the starting 5 next season, so we don't have to worry about those 2 guys.
Yeah.
But I had a beef with those 2 guys, including RJ Barrett too. I was starting 5. Matter of fact, let's put them in one group. These guys is horrible screen setters, bro.
Yeah. Quickley is our best screen setter.
That's crazy. And setting a screen is a skill. But I'll give you an example. Kevin Looney sets some damn good screens. You ever see Kevin Looney?
Yeah, Kevin Looney's half retarded too, man. So I mean, when it comes to basketball, like the first thing you learn when you play basketball is how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? If you can't shoot yet and you're still learning, the next thing you learn how to do is get in the defense position. You know what I'm saying? Once you figure that out, then to get shots off because guys can't dribble, you teach guys how to set picks. Those are the 3 main things that you learn when you first start playing basketball. Like when I start teaching my little guys are a little silly, too silly to be teaching them right now. Anyway, that's another story. But I mean, once I start teaching them, I'm gonna teach them how to shoot, and then we're gonna develop that, whatever. And I'm gonna say, don't worry about it. I'm gonna teach them how to dribble because we're from Brooklyn, right? And then the next thing I'm gonna teach them how to play defense because that's gonna be the defense gonna be able to get you to play, And then after that, I'm gonna get you to help the offensive player, which is setting picks and get into a spot where somebody that knows how to play can get you the ball.
Yo, So let me ask you a question. Setting a pick is a skill. That's a skill, right?
Yeah. But it's like fundamentals. So to me, fundamentals is something that it's just fundamentals. Like you should know the fundamentals.
So, but that's where the Knicks lack. The Knicks lack fundamentally sound players. We lack a lot of skill. This was just going from before we had this offseason, just looking at Tibbs rotations. I know we had skilled players on the roster last season. I think we got some skill on the roster last season. I think Tibbs rotations wasn't skilled. Yeah. So let me correct myself. I think going into next season, I think with the addition of Brunson, I think we added a lot of skill. I think Brunson's a very skilled player. I think he's the most skilled player on the New York Knicks right now. Yeah. I think it's beautiful to have him. I don't want to trade Quickley. Let me make that. I'm going to make that known right now. I want to keep Quickley. I'm personally going to exclude Quickley out of all trades from now on. I want to keep Quickley around. Bless up, E. I want to keep Quickley around Derrick Rose and Brunson. I feel like that's the best for his career. Even if Derrick Rose get hurt next season, we still got Quickley. And, I know Brunson had an injury last season. And knowing Quickley's history with Tom Thibodeau, I think Tom Thibodeau would start Quickley out the gate if anything happens to Brunson. So I like that as well. Yeah. Honestly, we are. I ain't gonna lie. I think we are. I think we are.
Is there such thing as a Randall stand though?
Yeah. What?
Who? Just on Ralph? Raphael. Raphael's the only one that be capping for Randall.
I gotta roll. Oh my God!
There's more than one. There's more than one stand for Randall. You talking about Brenda? Or Kendra, whatever her name is? Kendra?
You don't think there's Randall stands?
Nah, I mean, I don't know who could stand. I mean, like say like a guy like Sim. People call Sim like a Randall, supporter. But I mean, like he's just trying to look for the bright side of it. Not so toxic with it,
Nah, Sim is a random stand. He can't gas me. I swear to God, I didn't have debates with OG Sim, and he'll flip the debate to me on some like, but Randall, he didn't have a point guard. Like, the shifty OG move. Like, he's shifty.
He got you in the post like this, locked down like that. You can't move.
Like, I think he got it like notes written in his head, like every rebuttal for everything known to man. Like, and I hit him with the 2010 and 5 is trash OG. Like, I don't want to hear 2010 and 5. He hit me with the, well, what point guard you got next to him? And come on, Sam. Like,
we all are like that. We all are beasts. We all got a thing, we all like master debaters and shit. So it is what it is. What he stands on, like Sam with Randall, is just that like Julius Randle is an established NBA player. You can't, like, even though he is not perfect and he's not playing well, you can't just disregard his whole career. Like he still can give you these numbers, but within like what everybody can agree that like that he's not a number one guy. Everybody agrees to that,
Yeah.
It's just more like just don't disrespect his whole career just because you don't like him, type of thing.
And that I agree with you with. I agree with you with. I'm gonna try to like stop myself from doing that. Like I even said on a tweet today, like I'm really tired of the Knicks civil wars when it comes to Randall versus RJ, Grimes versus Reddish. It's always versus other Knicks players. When the fuck are we gonna disrespect other motherfuckers?
I'm telling you, but I'm listening. It goes by like older fans. That's why I keep bringing it up. Older fans, because you just have to look back to a little further, because I mean history repeats itself. There was a big debate with Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland. You know what I'm saying? There was a big debate.
Really?
There was a big debate with Cartwright and Ewing. There was debates. Huh?
Can you explain both if you don't mind me asking?
Well, you have to think of it, how everything was going. Like Cartwright already established himself as a 20-point a game scorer.
Right.
When Ewing got drafted.
Right.
So when he signed up with Ewing was supposed to have been just Mutombo. Because when he was in college, he wasn't scoring like that. He was Mutombo basically. But when he got to the NBA, all of a sudden this motherfucker scoring 20 points a game, and he got a bag all of a sudden. He got better. So that caused a rift. So people actually wanted Cartwright, because back then it was more for vets. People were excited for Ewing too. So people want the same shit. Oh, but Ewing only averaged 8 rebounds last year. Oh, but he's young. You think he ain't gonna get better? It's the same fucking conversation. Same conversation. Same thing with Mark Jackson and this guy Rod Strickland. So why would we get 2 point guards? Oh, but Rod sucks. Rod can't drive. Oh, but this one he can drive, but he can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? He's a better point guard. He's from the Bronx. Fuck Queens. It's always something. There's always something to debate every single time. The season comes up. There's always something to debate. Throughout the history of the Knicks. So could you imagine being involved in all that? Like even Michael Ray Richardson, he was like on drugs, and it was like Royce Farrell. There's people capping for Royce Farrell back in the days. It's crazy, man.
Oh man, I think the debate I probably would have been having if I was like a older Knicks fan, if I was like in my late 40s and all that. That Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland shit. I would be going to the grave with that. If I was an older Knicks fan, I'll probably bring that up once per pod.
Well, it goes something too. John Starks wasn't always a starter. When he first got here, he came off the bench. And who was the starter, while Starks was on the bench? It was Gerald Wilkins. So people were pissed off that we got rid of Gerald Wilkins. Why the fuck we got rid of Gerald Wilkins? Gerald Wilkins averaged 19 points a game for us with Ewing. So they both was leading scorers. And then here's another fun fact for those that want to dig for the stats. Bernard King's last game as a Knick, he dropped 32 points. Do you know who else dropped 32 points in that last game? Gerald Wilkins.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good to know. Like the Knicks have always had young cores. And I think a lot of people just getting back to the whole James Dolan thing. I think that a lot of people ties James Dolan to certain things that was out of his control. No, that was in his control, but was kind of out of his control. I'm gonna give you an example, like the Carmelo Anthony trade.
Yeah,
he had to do it, Eru. He had to. Like, regardless of how you felt about what we was doing that season, a player of Melo's caliber at that time, James Dolan had to go downstairs and say, look, fellas, I don't give a fuck about this Wilson Chandler Gallinari bullshit y'all talking. Yeah. Get me the superstar now. It's a business, right?
Well, here's the thing too. Like think of it on some street shit too. Like let's say everybody on the block, X team over here is getting money. They went and got themselves some Lamborghinis and shit. And they pull up to the block. Oh shit, the motherfucker got to get Lamborghinis. The next crew, they come up the block too. They pull up and like, I don't know, some like, some crazy fucking Escalades or whatever the fuck, whatever the car is. And then you got money too, but you still driving a freaking a freaking Phantom or not even a Phantom. You still driving a Chrysler 300 and shit. But you got rims and all, and everything is hooked up, but it's not on level with them. So now you got to go to your accountant, be like, yo, man, how am I gonna get this? Blah blah blah. So you ain't got the money really, and then you're gonna fuck up everything else, but you're just gonna take all your money, all your assets, and throw it in the pot and pull up the next day in the Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you got the Rolls Royce for? What else you gonna go with? You still live in the projects, but you got a Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what Dolan did to himself.
Yeah. But I never fought Dolan. I never fought him for that trade. I fought the stuff that happened after that trade. The whole amnestying Chauncey Billups thing. That was a huge mistake. You always do Amari Stoudemire 10 times out of 10. But Eru, let's get back to the business side of it. How can I amnesty a guy who chose to come to the Knicks, who was an all-star at the time, who said, I don't care, I'm going to take on the media responsibility of becoming a Knick. He couldn't do that. Optics.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
We had already gave it up, though. It was a one-shot thing. We couldn't. Mm-hmm. The AMC thing was only like an exemption for that particular CBA. Everybody had one. Not everybody used it either.
I think
we use that for Chauncey Billups so we can get Tyson Chandler here.
Yeah,
My bad, my
it
bad.
was a bad
Oh,
move.
shit.
That was a bad move. I never understood like that move. Well, Tyson Chandler was a defensive player of the year for us.
Yeah.
So we can't even scoff at that move, really. But at the
Yeah.
same time, when you
That
get
was that was the bad move, really. If you want to say
it
bad
was.
move, that was the one. Because I mean, I'll take the Melo trade, but you know, the simple fact that we messed up the amnesty, because if we would have held on the amnesty, kept Chauncey, we would have had a point guard, we would have had Melo. You know what I'm saying? We would still had a team, whatever. We wouldn't have to go try to get Raymond Felton here and all this other bullshit. We would have had Chauncey and Melo in place, and then once Amari started getting hurt, we could have amnestied him, and then we would have been off his contract. You know, that would have been a smart business thing to do at the time.
Yeah, but it would have. But I mean, when you think about it, and you're James Dolan, and you got a chance to get Tyson Chandler, who just won a championship, you got Mari in place, and you got Carmelo in place. You got to do it. That's good business. That's good business. And anybody at the time, at that moment in time, I don't think there could be a Knicks fan who was sitting there like, nah, I don't want the Knicks to do it. At that time.
For what? Melo or Tyson?
For Tyson Chandler at that time. I think that was just a business.
I was the one. I never liked Tyson Chandler.
You never? That was the one for you?
When we went and got him, I was so mad, yo. I was so mad that we got Tyson Chandler.
I was kind of happy. I was like, yeah.
Well, you know, so context is everything. They had just won a championship with Dallas.
That's the reason why.
You know, the narrative for him was that they went and got Tyson Chandler. And he's the one that got them the championship. Like, nah, maybe it was Dirk Nowitzki that was fucking a beast. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jason Terry, they the ones that won the championship.
I mean, but Tyson Chandler was a part of that, man.
He was.
Listen. Dirk Nowitzki was not protecting no rim once Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook got past him.
Yeah, but they didn't need to because you know, he was hitting everything that he was putting up. You know?
Man. Yeah. So I mean, James Dolan is I'm not gonna say like he was some terrible owner or he was, you know, this bad guy. He's made bad moves, but I felt like the good decisions that he made has outweighed the bad moves that he's made. Like the good decision, hiring Phil Jackson. I mean, no, the bad decision I think it was a good decision hiring Phil Jackson. He had to.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's Phil Jackson. It's not like he hired, you know, State. You know, it's not like he hired State Mensa from fucking from Harlem and shit. You know, he hired freaking 11 rings Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
I think the bad move with Phil, it was two things I didn't like what Dolan did when it came to Phil. The first thing was not allowing Phil to trade Porzingis for Devin Booker in the fourth pick. That was the first thing. I was pissed with Dolan because at that time, if you want to sell high on a player, that is selling as high as you can get.
Yeah.
And you know, we traded Porzingis 2 years, a couple of years later, which for Mook Morris, which led us to Immanuel Quickley. So shout outs to Porzingis. The gifts keeps on giving. But you know, at the same time, it was like Dolan came down and he said, "Nah, you're not trading Porzingis," and I respect it. Porzingis was his cash cow, right? The second time that I said, "Yo, Dolan, man, why the fuck?" I wanted them to keep Fizdale that whole season. I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Complete the tank.
Thank you. You complete the fucking tank. You gotta let him complete that tank. Yeah. I felt like when people show Thibodeau love and they say, you know, Thibodeau, he did this, that, and the third during the Almighty 4C State, man, how can you shit on him? And he only won 37 games, but we ain't had no talent. Fizdale had Alfred in those boys. What talent he had?
Yeah.
At least Tibbs had Quickley. Tibbs had talent in his disposal. He chose not to use that talent because he wants to win how the fuck he wants to win.
Yeah. What messed up with Dolan though is that he never had a problem hiring people. It was always 5-year contracts, you know, max deals for coaches at the time. You know, Like we talk about all the time. You know, he hired Lenny Wilkins, he hired Don Chaney, he hired freaking like everybody that you could that was hot. We had Don Nelson. You
Don
know,
Nelson.
we talk about it all the time. He goes and hires all the best names that you could possibly hire, you know, to run your team. But then he always interferes. What's the point of hiring these big names that's supposed to be experts, and then you over what was it? Donnie Walsh. You know, Donnie Walsh is one of the best basketball minds out there, man. And then he had his plan, but he overrode him. You know, he said, "Oh, I'm the owner." You know, blah blah. That's where he fucks up. You have to let the basketball expert do what they do.
So
You know, and like now, look at him doing all these deals in Vegas and stuff like that. Now you have a more clear head to go do other business that you're actually good at. Go take care of MSG, your MSG networks and the other sister companies you have. You know, let these guys that you hire let us run the Knicks. You know,
and what's crazy is the Knicks have a good history of hiring legendary coaches. Like I'm gonna go down the list. I actually put it up.
you can share it. Can you share it?
I don't. Let's see if I can share it.
Right at the bottom, you should have like a share icon.
And hold on. Oh, I don't know how to do it, man. Off camera, you gonna have to teach me how to do it, man.
Yeah, man, you could do it. You know, you have the power to do it on your end too.
So
Okay, you can read off the names.
right here, you know, I got some legendary coaches for you. So you mentioned Don Nelson, that was 95 and 96. I think Don Nelson was fired because he wanted to trade Patrick Ewing for Shaquille O'Neal, I believe. I believe that was the reason.
Well, he wanted the ball to be out of his hands, and it was a mutiny because even though they were winning, nobody wanted to do that. He was starting Brad Lojas, you know, a guy that you never heard of, but he started Brad Lojas because he was trying to because Brad Lojas could shoot threes, so he was trying to change the game. You know, so he was actually ahead of his time, and then he goes to Dallas and gets the ultimate Brad Lojas and freaking Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying?
So we got Pat Riley. Oh, fuck Pat Riley. Don Nelson. Jeff Van Gundy. Don Chaney. Herb Williams. Lenny Wilkins. Larry Brown. Larry Brown. Oh, I hate Larry Brown.
But context too, man. Lenny Wilkins is a Hall of Famer, all-time great, one of the most winningest coaches in NBA history. That's who he went and got to coach the Knicks,
man. Wow. Larry Brown, Isaiah Thomas. Shout out to Isaiah.
Yeah, but it's Isaiah Thomas though. You get what I'm saying? Like Isaiah, context is everything. Once Isaiah Thomas got hired, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is what happened with him, right? But Isaiah Thomas was Isaiah Thomas though. You know, and shout out to Scott Layden. He wasn't the coach, but he was the GM. But Scott Layden was like the young boy from Utah, the big shot dude from Utah that they thought that they was gonna come here and turn us into Karl Malone and John Stockton.
I don't want to be Karl Malone. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now, brother. Isaiah Thomas was the next coach. Then we got Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni.
I think he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah,
I think he's a Hall of Fame coach.
He might go in the Hall of Fame for basketball for playing too, because in Italy he was one of like the winningest players in history in Italy. He won man championships over there.
Oh shit! I never knew that, Eru. I swear to God.
Yeah, he played with Bob McAdoo and those guys over there in Italy. And that's why Kobe said that he liked D'Antoni or whatever the fuck. I forgot what the quote is actually. Because he was a really good basketball player over there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mike D'Antoni. See, you could always respect coaches who played the game before.
Yeah.
No wonder Mike D'Antoni offense was beautiful in 05 with Joe Johnson and Steve Nash and those boys, man. No wonder. Shout out to Mike D'Antoni, man. After Mike D'Antoni, we hired Mike Woodson.
Another good coach.
Great coach. Yep. He's a damn good coach. I ain't going
former Knick too, yep. Former Knick and all the good feels and stuff. So and you can't, like, everybody that you named, you can't say nothing bad about anybody that we named.
But this next name. You laughing. Our next coach was Derek Fisher.
But at the same time, too, it's Derek Fisher.
Yes.
Like at the time before he got hired, he was one of the most respectable names in NBA. He was like the player president and all kind of shit. But meanwhile, he's like sliding in your fucking wife's DMs and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So when Derek Fisher was fired, and this is fact, when he was fired, I believe he was 22 and 23.
Right.
I believe we was hovering around 500.
Yeah.
So, things happened and he got fired. Cool. I respect it. That Kurt Rambis shit.
Yeah, but Kurt Rambis is a decent coach too, though.
Eru, I'll put my head in this oven right now and turn it to 500 degrees.
The thing with Kurt Rambis, he always got stuck with teams that were rebuilding. Like, I don't know why he was accepting those jobs. You know what I'm saying? But he's a decent basketball mind too. He's like a wannabe. He wanna be Phil Jackson so bad, but he fucked up picking bad jobs.
So after Kurt Rambis, we hired Jeff Hornacek. And what's crazy about Jeff Hornacek is the man won 48 games for the Phoenix Suns and did not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
that's how they weren't the only team though. That like on the West was beast. Remember for a while, they were winning like crazy over there. Everybody was winning.
But what's crazy about Jeff Hornacek is he was kind of fake ahead of his time. Like he was running the 3 guard sets early, shooting a lot of threes and this, that, and the third. I think wow, I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is probably the shots is starting to get to me now a little bit, but
why the fuck you drinking alone, man? What the fuck is going on?
I just wanted to have some fun,
I got you.
We drafted Frank Ntilikina, right? Just imagine we drafted Donovan Mitchell. Now I know before I said Donovan Mitchell would have been used like Kyle Korver on the Knicks. Is there a multiverse, Eru, where Jeff Hornacek sees him and be like, what the fuck is that? I gotta play him that point guard.
You would have went like this, like, who do we draft? Donovan Mitchell. We drafted who? Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? He'd be ready to rock with that.
But at the same time, that I think Donovan Mitchell was the guy that Jeff Hornacek wanted in the draft. I think it was Donovan Mitchell. I think, he wanted Donovan, and Phil said, fuck your life. I'm picking this guy from France and you're gonna fucking love him. And that's what happened. Oh, yo, yeah, man. Ultimate Warrior, man. I'm a huge wrestling fan, yo. I'm surprised you peeped that. I'm a huge wrestling fan, bro. Well, it's like the Knicks, when it comes to the Knicks and it comes to like building like a stable franchise, a lot of people have been like on edge, especially like people like me, because we have not had stability within like the past 20 years. And
but at the same time, like you said, you just read off all those names. All those names were this.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
The cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't done though. I stopped at Jeff Hornacek.
Okay.
You want me to finish?
But Hornacek also is a as a player too. He was really good too. So he was a respectable player, a respectable name until it played out.
Okay. Yep, he'll cheap shot you too. That's a fact.
Yeah, with this shit every time he took a free throw. That's for his kids though.
So guess who's next? One of my favorite coaches in Knick history, David Fizdale. Shout outs to David Fizdale, man. I hope David Fizdale is having a blessed evening with his wife. I hope he's having all the drinks he can. Shout out to
shaved his hair. I hope he got a haircut. That shit was looking crazy.
Shout outs to James Dolan for putting another black man in position to succeed. The man David Fizdale was sitting on his ass for a year straight, making millions. I wish I could do the same thing, but trash. I always will love David Fizdale because he got me RJ Barrett. I will never, ever, ever shit on David Fizdale. He's one of my favorite coaches in Knick history. He got us RJ Barrett. He got me Julius Randle. And listen, Eru, I don't usually do this. He put the ball in Randle's hands.
Ain't a reason why Randall. People like me say I don't want Randall with the fucking ball in his hands. But hey, he tried to put Randall in a position to succeed, right?
Yeah, he also told Moody out that he don't get him right?
You don't find that suspicious?
Oh,
That's one of the reasons to put to click that one.
You know what the problem be with Knick coaches? They always love the opposite player who the fans love. That's the problem with Knick coaches. All he had to say was, Frank Ntilikina, I'm going to get you right. That's all he had to say. That's all he had. That's it.
That sounds so fucking suspect.
Yeah, that sounds like the bullshit.
This is the way that you said it too. It's like, Frank Ntilikina, I'm going to get you right.
That sounds like some bullshit. I ain't going
You're going to do what?
Yep. But nah, man. But Knicks have had so many coaches in Knicks history, man. Shout out to James Dolan. I forever love Fizdale, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. I love him to the grave, man. He got me RJ Barrett, and we knew he was tanking.
But what about Mike Miller, though? Go ahead. Let's talk about Mike Miller. Just get that off your chest.
It was a reason why I didn't mention Mike Miller.
He's a nice man. He's a nice man.
If there was like a top 5 poll of people you hate in Knicks history who's associated with the Knicks franchise, and you polled me and asked me who I hate, he might be top 2.
Top 2?
He might be top 2. I don't know.
Who's number 1, though? Who's number 1?
Oh, Jerome James. Jerome James.
But Jerome James, all he did was sign the contract, though. Who gave him the fucking contract? Isaiah Thomas, right? But why was Isaiah Thomas even there? Fucking Scott Layden. So it starts and ends with Scott Layden, man. That guy is
oh God,
he's like 60 something now. He's about to retire and shit, man. But he had a fucking run, That motherfucker had a run.
Yo, man, the Knicks got. I hate Mike Miller's guts, bro. I really hate I'm not even gonna say what he just said. I'm gonna leave that on the screen.
That was some funny shit. He pulled up to Lafayette like, what the fuck was he gonna do in Lafayette? I just don't get it, man.
I don't know. Eat some Lafayette chopped cheeses or something, man. You're not Lafayette, man. I don't know. At least he tried. At least he went. All right. At least he went. Okay. Shit. I was having a debate the other day. Who would you rather have, Porzingis or Julius Randle? I don't know. Look, you laughing. I don't know. Look,
yo, if you had to, right? If you had to, would you trade for Porzingis?
Let me.
Because I don't know. This is off my head. Porzingis has got to be like on an expiring deal or something like that. Because he signed a contract, when he left the Knicks. It's got to be getting close to the expiring, right? Yeah. So, like, would you trade like newly signed Mitchell Robinson or something like that for and somebody else added to that for Porzingis? And Porzingis would be the starting center?
Mitch can back him up though, but you gotta remember, like, hindsight. This is why hindsight is a motherfucker. I'm glad you brought that up, Eru, because I wanted to talk to you about this personally. I was speaking about this on Spaces, but I said, nah, this would be better with Eru, right? Hypothetically speaking, Porzingis asked out, right?
Yeah.
You say, no, fuck you. We ain't trading you, motherfucker.
No, fuck you.
Yeah. We ain't trading you, motherfucker.
Nope.
Right? But you still signed Julius Randle. Right?
But I think we couldn't do that unless we open up that space when we trade.
But that was $74 million. So if you re-sign Porzingis, right? Let's say if you still re-sign Porzingis, you still have cap space to sign Randle. Randle was only about like 19 million at the time, 20 million at the time.
Yeah.
So you could have realistically signed Randle, said fuck Bobby Portis, Fuck those other guys. You could have still drafted RJ Barrett, and you could have just signed Porzingis as well. So now your front court is RJ, Randall, Porzingis. Your issue might be point guard.
Right.
But you still got RJ, Randall, Porzingis. That's just a thought. It's just a thought. Hindsight will tell you, you can't move. How you feel about that thought, matter of fact?
Well, just to add, the context and stuff too. He's still under contract. That contract's up because it's a player option, so he's definitely taking that because he ain't getting $36 million nowhere. So so he's signed until 2024. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Because we did draft Mitch too, because it just that we didn't get a chance to play both of them together. So we already had drafted Mitch. So hindsight now, we would have Porzingis and Mitch. So I don't know, man. Because he also got hurt and then he got better.
Right. So hindsight is you got Porzingis, you got Mitch, you got Randall, and you got RJ Barrett. You don't have Obi Toppin, you don't have Quickley.
Yeah, that's gonna have to change. But do we even have Leon Rose here? That's another story too.
Woo! See, that's where you fucking up the multiverse. See that.
Yeah, that's as soon as you keep it saying, no, they should have did that, but then we wouldn't have had this guy. This wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? It starts getting crazy. It starts turning into some Dark Mirror shit.
Shit. I'm trying, man. You try to put hindsight to every move, right? I like the fact that when me and you talk, we always try to look at all the scenarios. We're not trying to just look at one. Like we try to look at all. Sometimes I get short-sighted, and sometimes I will get narrow-sighted. That's why I love you, Eru, because you.
I don't love you though. I told you that many times.
No, I understand.
I'm just letting you know.
I understand it. But you get me right back on track because people like Evan Fournier get me off track. So I had to get back on track. But hindsight will tell you, you always got to look at the season ahead of the season that you're in if you're not a championship contender.
Right.
So we're not a championship contender right now at this moment. Right. I feel like personally, and we moving on from the James Dolan subject, we could talk about this roster a little bit. But I feel like right now, personally, we're at the moment, we're primed to take that next step, Eru.
Yeah.
I feel like we're primed for Donovan Mitchell right now. And I sent you a video that I wanted you to play. It was about Donovan Mitchell. Basically, he was talking about Jalen Brunson. And those comments was good to hear. And shout outs to Wood, who's in the thread with us, who's in the Knicks thread, because he actually brought the video into the thread. So shout outs to Wood. But it's nice to hear that Donovan Mitchell can speak so glowingly about Jalen Brunson and I'm just getting introduced to Jalen Brunson. So go ahead.
Well, he was speaking like a basketball guy. He took himself out of the equation and said, wait a second. This guy actually could play basketball. So then he took himself out of being Donovan Mitchell and brought himself as, okay, I'm a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? It's not sugarcoated. He's a good player. Basically that's what he says. So I appreciated that. This is the actual thing here. So want me to play it?
Yeah.
Talented. Brunson was a good player, but was it all startling or shocking?
I can't lie. Everybody's making, like, trying to, how do I say this? They're trying to act like Jalen having 41 is like, the craziest thing. Like, that's Jalen Brunson. Like, I know JB. I've known JB for a while. Like, he's a talented player. Like, obviously Luka's out. That's the storyline. But Jalen Brunson can go. So I want people to kind of put respect on that. Let's not act like, he's a bad basketball player.
Trash. Not acting like he's trash.
One thing I think he deserves respect in that regard. He's a guy, and at the end of the day, we do a lot of things in this league. Like, there's certain, like, guys can go, and when your star player's out, levels rise. That's just how it necessarily is. And he did a good job of that. And there's things we can do to make it harder on him, make it tougher. He was able to get to his spots, and like I said, when you watch the film, you see we can make things tougher. But Jalen Brunson can go, and I think people need to kind of respect him in a little bit more in that regard because he's a talented player. He's a winner. He went to Villanova. Jay Wright's done a great job with guys at Villanova, but he's a tough basketball player. And I'm not saying it's like we're expecting 40 tonight. We're expecting if we're gonna go out there and try and make it tough on him. But having 41 is not like, oh my God, it's like he can go. He can go. He can go.
Yeah, I like to hear that. It's good. It's respect. Like it's honor amongst thieves. You just respecting the person in front of you.
Yo, man. So shout outs to. I seen this trade. I like what he said. Shout outs to Lokes of Judah. I don't know if you knew, brother, but I appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel. Get the thumbs up, right? Get the likes up, fellas. I think the trade hold up is Pat Bev, August 30th. If my Knicks was to get Pat Bev, who is he playing? Look, I would love Pat Bev. I've been screaming for the Knicks to get Pat Bev for years. Who is he playing over?
Yeah, because we already got a logjam as it is. Because right now, like people keep forgetting about Derrick Rose. We got a whole Derrick Rose on our team. People forgot all about him. They say, yeah, we need to play this guy. He need to play 28 minutes, and then all you got to say is, what about Derrick Rose? And they're like, oh, everybody does the same thing. Oh shit, Derrick Rose. So we already in trouble. So once we make a trade or whatever, where does Pat Bev fit in all this? Because you got to play him.
But I think not necessarily the Knicks getting Patrick Beverley. The fact that Utah might be tanking next season, they probably want value for Patrick Beverley as well. So, let's wait and see. I think it's going to happen though. I'm not worried about the Donovan Mitchell trade happening. I think it's going to happen. I'm sorry for Quentin Grimes fans. But I think Quentin Grimes should be in Utah. If it was up to me, Quentin Grimes would be in Utah about 2 months ago. If it was up to me, like I'm not. Look, and I don't think Quickley would be dealt. Now, this is why I say Quickley might be untradeable for me. You know why I like Quickley, Eru? He got that spunk. He got that. When we watch him, we know he ain't scared. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talk about motors and shit like that. He's just a fire starter. He is the guy. That's why like throughout the off season, you see that motherfucker in the background of everybody's pictures. He's everywhere. Yes. I bet you they say, yo man, you man, cool man. You should come by to this. And he be like, yeah, I'll be there, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then he will be there. And dressed and look accordingly too. Look like everybody else.
But I think the thing that gravitates me most towards Quickley now is like I love the competitive spirit, bro. Like I love people who's competitors and like who's always themselves 24/7. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson wasn't himself when he first got here. You get what I'm saying? He was shy. He a few words. Remember Mitchell Robinson's first press conference as a Knick? Because I remember that he barely spoke.
Yeah, he gives the worst press conferences anyway. Every time they interview him, he just like, well, what you think?
No, he's gotten better. Gotten better.
He's still goofy though. He's still goofy.
Oh, very goofy, very goofy. But Quickley, like you can see it. I seen a video with him at his camp, and he's with the kids, and he looked like a kid himself. Like he was enjoying his time. And then I'm seeing him at Pro AM games. And this is why I took a little stock into the Pro AM game with Randall, Brunson, and Obi. Because it's a wanted factor. I never questioned Jalen Brunson's wanted. Because I see him boogieing every time he gets on the Pro AM court.
Yeah.
Obi and Randall look like they was just out there for exercise. You can't fucking be out there for exercise and you're a New York Knick. Quickley went out there and bust ass every night.
Yeah. He was taking a lot of contact too. He was getting beat up. They was attacking him.
Yep. Come on, that's that wanted factor, man. That's what gravitates me towards certain Knick players, man. Quickley, I'm not trading Quickley, bro. I'm good. I'm not trading. I can't trade.
That's the difference between like a Julius Randle, because Julius Randle, like you can see his body language. That dude Jordan Watson was pushing him around, and Julius was just like, "Come on, man, come on."
Yeah.
Like he's just like, "Come on, dude. Like we just playing around here."
Nah,
He didn't take it as serious as he needed to. Out of like like you said, competition. You in front of me. Oh, you think you're better than me? Let me just give you some work real quick. Let me just drop a quick 30 on you real quick, just so that you know I'm here.
That's all. Carmelo Anthony having Jordan Washington put 40 on him in a pro-am game?
Hell no. Hell no. Melo's going to slam that motherfucker to the wall before the night is over.
And that's that. Quickly got that dog in him, yo.
Yeah.
Right? So I remember a pod. I remember me and you recorded a pod, right? And it was about, I think it was during Quickly's rookie year. I don't know if it was against the Cavs or I don't know who we was playing, but I think it was Quickly first preseason game. And me and you, as soon as we got on the pod, we unanimously said, that young boy got some dog in him. He ain't nothing like Frank Ntilikina. Instantly, first conversation.
Yeah, even Dennis Smith Jr. Everybody was expecting Dennis Smith to take his spot, but Quickly stepped up and said, "Yo, Dennis is out of here." It's like that. Yo, he just freaking devoured. He killed Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah. And listen, now that I think about it, and watching Quickly these past 2 years, and seeing his development, and getting on these various pods with Eru, and I'm killing Quickly, and I'm like, yo, bro, this boy is a ball hog. This boy don't know what the fuck he's doing at point guard. I gotta give Quickly some leeway. I gotta give him some leeway because Quickly, just like RJ, was subjected to the same circumstances. If I'm gonna give RJ the excuse, I gotta give Quickly the excuse too. I gotta give Obi the excuse. But Quickly played his ass off. And I felt like he could have started these past 2 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
If it wasn't, let's say if it was Fizdale would have had him starting. If he was, let's say if he was just to push the timeline back a little bit and he had him, he would have started him for 2 years straight. And we would have, it would have been like that.
But
I think, I was saying this earlier. I think that Quickly is ready to start. I think in this year, this is his third year. He looked like he got a little weight to him. You can see that he's been practicing his finishing and take moves. You know what I'm saying? You saw that in the workout, and then you saw him in the pro-am. So you see that he's gotten better, and his jump shot is still wet. Super athletic. So I think this right now, if he didn't have Brunson there, I think he would challenge for that starting point guard spot.
No, I think he would be the starting point guard.
Yeah.
I think personally, he should still start. He should still challenge anybody for a starting spot.
Yeah.
Brunson included, all of those boys included. Have an open competition. See, my problem with Tibbs is when he say things like earn in minutes, it triggers me because you're a liar. Because it was never a competition from the beginning. Because nobody could sit here and tell me Alfred Payton outplayed Quickly at any moment he was a Knick.
Right.
I love Quickly, man. I support him.
Especially the second year, the second season. There was no excuse for that shit. The first year is one thing, but I mean that second year with Alfred is come on, man.
The almighty fourth seed, man. We was winning games. I came in I want to say the same thing you just said, but the almighty fourth seed.
Yeah,
we was winning, and we was flourishing. Actually, shout outs to Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose helped us win that season. But I think that's why you don't start Quickly at that time. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Tibbs handled Quickly the way he should have the past 2 years? Do you think it was so? The second part of that question is 2 years from now, I'll be saying sorry to Thibodeau for Quickly because he actually played Quickly sparingly minutes his first 2 seasons.
Tom Thibodeau, I can't say nothing about him. because it's just gonna make me angry, no matter what it is. Because I mean, like, regardless of what we got, we should have did a little bit better, and we shouldn't have been in this position that we are now. But hindsight is 2020. Because if we did better than we did now, then we probably wouldn't be in these conversations. Trying to get Donovan Mitchell and all this other stuff that we're looking to do. Well, it's a question too. This year he has 2 more years in his contract. You got this year coming, and then next year. So now we're talking about a dude that's going to be a free agent after in the 2024 season. But we already signed Jalen Brunson. So now you got yourself a situation where it's a Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland thing. If Quickley steps up to the plate, now you're talking about like we got 2 point guards now. Like we got 2 starting point guards and we can't keep both.
No, so my only fight back to that is it's James Dolan. What you mean we can't keep both? We can't keep them because we don't want to pay both? No, they're going to get paid.
But I mean, what would Quickley get? Would Quickley get the same like 20-something million deal? But I mean, he would have to prove that though. He would have to like prove that money.
Yep. So let me say this to you. I was listening to a podcast with Gilbert Arenas the other day, and he was talking about how his coach wasn't really trying to play him, because they wasn't trying to pay him the money that he wanted because he was outperforming his pay at the current moment. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about what y'all want to pay me. I want to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want the Knicks to try to hold Quickley back to try to lessen the contract that they could offer him.
Right.
Let him.
That was so
good. Bro. Hold everybody account. If Brunson is having a bad game, I don't need to see Brunson. That's my thing.
Yo, but Brunson's not supposed to have a bad game.
But that's the double-edged sword of it.
Because that's another fucking question. Because if Brunson is not playing good, now that people gonna be like, "Yo, get that." He gonna be the new Randall.
No, hold on. You know why he not gonna be the new Randall? I'm gonna tell you why he not gonna be the new Randall. Tom fucking Thibodeau is still the Knicks head coach. What the fuck is he doing to get our players in better positions to succeed? I can't get at Brunson. I've said it to you on countless pods. I'm saying it to you on this pod. I'm not going at the players next season, bro. I swear to God, I'm not. Because I'm gonna look at the coach. Yo, Brunson went 3 for 15 in the game. Brunson went 3 for 15. Why the fuck Tibbs still had him out on the court when he got Immanuel Quickley on his bench and Derrick Rose?
Yeah. Shout out Joe Curry, man. I didn't get a chance to shout you out really because you just been going at it in the chat. But I mean, Westbrook contract that's been dangling forever, man. That might actually end up being in the deal for a 3-team deal. Mm-hmm. But trade get Westbrook's contract and a first back. Do we waive a guy like Westbrook and let him be a free agent? But then here's the thing: if we traded for Westbrook, what the fuck that means that we didn't need to sign Brunson. Because another part of the context is Quickley is ready. So if we traded for Westbrook for cap purposes, right? But then Quickley is ready, so the timeline meets each other. Because once Westbrook is off the books, then Quickley could just take the spot. But we already signed Brunson.
But at the same time, James Dolan not buying out Russ. Let's keep it factual. Let's leave our emotions out of this. The Westbrook bullshit that people try to. James Dolan ain't buying out Russ.
But okay, what's the trade though? What's the trade? Because I mean, after we make this trade, we got Donovan Mitchell and we got Russell Westbrook now, and then we got freaking Quickley and we got Brunson still. Like, what are we doing here?
So that falls in the Tibbs alley. That's right up his alley. Now, Brunson is the starter, but the thing is, will Russell want to come off the bench?
He ain't coming off the bench.
Now, hold on. We said this about Carmelo Anthony, right? A couple years ago. He ain't coming off the bench. If you present to Russ a situation where he knows he's going to win and he knows he's going to be loved, I feel like he would come off the bench. Would I want to bring Russ off the bench? You're damn fucking right I would. I'm not buying out no Russell Westbrook.
But it's a thing though. If we get Westbrook here, but I mean that's the question. Do we have Donovan Mitchell if we bring Westbrook here, or this is just a separate thing outside of Donovan?
So it would be a 3-team deal where the Knicks are sending out. So basically, Randall was in this deal.
Right.
Gotta put Randall for cap purposes. Randall would be going to the Lakers. Evan Fournier would probably be going to the Lakers. The Knicks will be receiving back Donovan Mitchell and Russell Westbrook. And we'll be sending out hella draft picks, probably about 4 draft picks that's not ours, and probably 3 unprotected picks. No, 5 draft picks that's not ours, because if we taking on Russell Westbrook contract, I damn sure want the first pick from the Lakers. So I'll send Utah 5 picks that's not ours.
Yeah, Lakers got to send something. They got to send some picks.
And I will send 2 picks that is ours, that's unprotected, to take on Russ contract, to take on Donovan Mitchell. And then in that scenario, there's no log jams. Now, there's only one log jam left. And you just said it. Derrick Rose.
But I mean, would Derrick Rose have to be in that trade too, just for the money? Because I mean, Westbrook and Donovan Mitchell, that's a lot of bread there.
Tibbs ain't trading Russ. Tibbs ain't trading Rose, bro.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that the Knicks would buy Russ out. I don't think that's not some.
But like outside of the draft picks, you said, the Knicks will receive Donovan Mitchell and Russell Westbrook. That's a haul already. Like if we can get Donovan Mitchell and Russell Westbrook, then why the fuck did we sign Brunson?
Because you need a starting point guard for the next few years, brother.
But if you got Donovan Mitchell and Russell Westbrook, holy shit.
But can we say this? That training camp gonna be a dogfight.
Could you imagine them going at each other in practice? Because Westbrook, they got to kick him out of practice because he's going too hard. He's one of the few players that they said, listen, man, you got to go take a break. You know what I'm saying? Go take an early shower or something. Go get some treatment.
But here's the other low-key good narrative that the Knicks is about to start getting, right? Remember back in 2000 and 2010 when we always used to get old age all-stars who is past their prime, and we get them, but we're dependent on them to be a star still. We're at that point where, like, in 2024 and beyond, we can get old all-stars, and we don't have to depend on those guys to be the old all-star. We have to depend on those guys to just fill a role.
Right.
So that's another thing too. Like, I'm not opposed to getting a guy like Russell Westbrook if he's going to come off the bench. I feel like he's going to come off the bench because that's just optics. Like, the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson and gave him $100 million. Russell Westbrook is not a 2 guard at this stage of his career. But if he wants to come off the bench, by all means, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it. How dare you not want to get Russell Westbrook in the building, get Donovan Mitchell in the building while you have Jalen Brunson? And you got to pay RJ too. And you got to pay. Come on now. We trying to get talent. I just witnessed 2 straight seasons of Alfred Payton. Can people please give us a break? That's all I ask. Give us a break. 2 years of Alfred, we saying no to any type of point guard? Nah, I don't know about that. That don't sound like the Knicks way, man.
This scenario, we talked about this before already in the pod too. We get him, of course. We the easy thing is just to waive Westbrook, whatever. There's a few other guys too, because I'm all about trading OB2. Depending what kind of, like, if we can get the team better, I'm with it. I'm with it because you mentioned Joe Jackson. This guy freaking what's the dude's name? That was in Charlotte. He was a backup with the Clippers. The big man.
Who, Isaiah Hartenstein?
No, black dude with the dreads.
Oh, you talking about Nah, he wouldn't be a Knick. Montrez? Nah, he wouldn't be a Knick.
Why not? But I'm saying, like, money wise, same way like Josh Jackson. We could sign him because he was signed for cheap.
I'll take Josh Jackson on the humble. Like, I'm not opposed to. I know, like, a month ago I was like, yo, Eru, I'm not taking you serious when you mention those guys. But right now,
You feel me? We just strictly basketball wise. I'll take one of those dudes. I'll take a reclamation project under Thibodeau.
Well, it's just really to fill out the roster. You're filling out the roster, like the bench, with quality talent. Because right now you're putting pegs in the starting spot. 6-man, 2, everything is locked in, but you still need to fill in those other little spots, for the team.
Yeah. But I feel like those spots should be filled by prime vets. Honestly, I feel like we got so many kids in the building that we got to have some prime vets in here to really get this shit going. I try to tell people, like, when you look at a guy like Brunson, don't ever judge him off of what he's averaging per game. Yeah. That's what we did not sign Brunson $100 million for him to average 20 and 10. Like, that's not what we did. And I like this trade ultimately for Randall Fournier to Charlotte for Hayward and PJ Tucker, but Leon Rose is not doing that. Sometimes I got to take out my own personal feelings when it comes to like having takes and being realistic. Leon Rose not doing it. Not doing that. He's not trading his client, his CAA client. If it's all about relationships, right, Eru? Not trading him, bro. Not trading. And let's be real, Eru. He ain't trading Obi. He ain't trading Obi, man.
He might, though. He might.
Nah, he's not trading Obi.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to agents, it's just about signing the biggest contract. It don't really care about logistics. It's just like, how can I get the best money because that's how they get paid. They get paid percentage wise.
Right. Right.
So I mean, just to talk about the trade that he mentioned. Where is it at? It's Mr. Alton Lee, right? I mean, could we make this trade and still Donovan? Do Donovan? Not if it's a 3-way, right?
In a trade like this, is Charlotte sending me back a first? Because any trade that deals with Randall, that first that you give me, I'm sending that straight to Utah. That first is not coming to the Knicks. That's going straight to Utah.
Right.
That's another thing too. Utah traded for I think Monte Morris, whatever. They traded for Morris and Pat Beverly, and those two can't be traded until after August 30th, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think that was another reason what's holding it up. And low key, Eru, now I figured out the reason why RJ has not been paid yet. Right? You can't trade for another player on a rookie designated max when you have one already on your roster. Interesting. So that's why. So that's what tells me the Knicks is going to have Donovan Mitchell. And last thing, I want you to talk about this because the Christmas schedule came out, right?
Right.
Knicks playing on Christmas. So I don't know if we're gonna do a pod on Christmas. If we do, I'm gonna be saucy.
That's the thing too. Like, I don't want to see the Knicks on Christmas. I want to enjoy my Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the Knicks are playing, then like, listen, it's like fuck the kids. If the game is at 12 o'clock, it's like I'm in here doing a podcast. Like, fuck Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if the kids go and hey, they're gonna be knocking you down. Can you put the game together? Like, 3 more hours, I'll be out there with you after I finish talking all this shit on the internet. You know?
The Knicks is playing on Christmas. That tells me Donovan gonna be a Knick. That's all that tells me. That don't tell me nothing. You don't put. Usually, the Knicks we got a lot of fans, right? You're gonna watch worldwide, right? And Hawk fans, they mad. Why you don't got the Atlanta Hawks on Christmas? Nobody don't want to watch Dejounte Murray and Trae Young waking up 11 in the morning.
Dominique Wilkins, right? Well, I mean, they had to start their own television company, TNT, in order for Atlanta to get any shine on television. Because that's the only way you would see Hawks games, because they own the Turner Broadcasting Network, whatever. TNT. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was always back in the. I'm talking about back in the days. That's why you was able to see Atlanta Hawks games. But outside of that, nobody cared about Atlanta, even though Dominique Wilkins was going up like this, bam. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gave a damn. The human highlight film, where the only time you saw his highlights was on NBA Inside Stuff. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even see. There was no ESPN. The only time you saw Dominique Wilkins was on NBA Inside Stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like people don't like me to curse, man, but it's 11 p.m., man. Fuck Atlanta, bro, man. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect, you know, you got some beautiful women over there, a lot of cool dudes, a lot of people retired from New York to go down there. You know what I'm saying, man? Fuck you guys, man. You got no leg to stand on, man, as a fucking fan base.
So do you feel that way? Because I feel like the Knicks was put on Christmas Day versus Philadelphia versus James Harden and Tyrese Maxey. Because we will have Donovan fucking Mitchell, and he's box office.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's the reason why, man. And the James Dolan talks about him selling the team that coincides with the Donovan Mitchell talks, because whoever's buying the team, if I'm buying a team and you got Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett on your team, how much money you need, brother? You giving me?
I don't think James Dolan's. I definitely don't think he's selling the team, man.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna go down with the ship. I think, man. I think you know, he wants to sit there with the champagne. They throwing the champagne on him, and I think he wants to do like this to the Knicks fan base and the media like that, because he deserved that. You know, I think James Dolan, if anybody deserves it, talking about Knicks fans, anybody deserves to do that, you know, get that moment. It's James Dolan. He deserves that, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, and you know how ironic it would be to have a Knicks championship where RJ Barrett is just spraying champagne on Randall and James Dolan and Carmelo Anthony. Like, how many fuck yous can we throw?
But I mean, you know, like we talked about that before. Like every time you see championship teams, like you look at the bench, there's a bunch of Hall of Famers on the bench. Either like some dude that used to be nice, not necessarily Hall of Famers. It's just somebody that did something is on the bench. You know, anybody could just go look across. You know, like I think San Antonio won a championship. They had Big Dog Robinson on the bench. You know what I'm saying? They also had Steven Jackson that was gonna become Steven Jackson on the bench one year too. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always some random guy on the bench. You know, the Lakers won the championship. They had Mitch Richmond on the bottom of the bench. You know, like Glenn Rice was on the team too. You know, just go down the line. There's always some like a whole bunch of people that did something at one point. You know, Peja Stojakovic was on that Dallas team too. You know, so it's Marion, Jason Kidd, nothing but a bunch of stars on you know, in their elder age. You know, so it's cool. You know, so if Melo and all that stuff, it just fulfills that prophecy for the Knicks.
So already, like in my mind, coming off the bench, this is just in my mind.
Yeah,
that 4 players coming off my bench, just in my mind, is Isaiah Hartenstein, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, and Immanuel Quickley. Now, right there, that 4, that's a nice bench.
Yeah.
That's a really, really nice.
It's dope. I can see the press conference. I can see them going down with the you know, whatever they call it, the mobile blimps and all that and the shit. I could totally see that. I could see all that shit happening.
And the 5th guy off that bench, who I didn't mention, is Cam Reddish. I didn't even mention Cam Reddish. And you know how much like the basketball wise part of having Hartenstein, Reddish, Melo, Rose, Quickley just coming off your bench. The thought of that is like, and this is just the thought of us having Donovan Mitchell, because I feel like we'll have Donovan Mitchell. That is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That is crazy. How do we not root for the Knicks to get to the finals with that roster? How?
Yeah, it's like go for it. But yeah, go time now, man. You know,
man. And that's just off of my belief of we paid Mitchell Robinson. We gave Mitch the big bucks. I know it's a lot of people who don't like Mitch.
Yeah.
Right. We gave him the big bucks. So I'm expecting minimum from Mitch, an all defensive team accolade next season. Just minimum. That shouldn't be hard, right?
I'm not expecting nothing from him because I just don't like him as a player.
I know you don't.
I'm expecting him to do the same bullshit.
I'm gonna fuck your head up right now. You like Robert Williams, right?
Who's that?
You like Robert Williams?
Robert Williams from Celtics?
Yep.
I could give a fuck about him too.
Oh,
but again, what you gonna say?
Oh man. I mean, I can understand why you don't like Mitchell Robinson. He sets bad screens. He has no offensive game. He can't shoot free throws. He has shown us nothing outside of 5 feet from the paint. I can understand why you don't like Mitchell Robinson. But at the same time, Mitchell Robinson's here. So, Eru, you gonna fucking love him for the next
I don't love nobody, man. You keep telling me you love me too. I don't love nobody, man. I'm just not committing to that shit. You know what I'm saying? I already made one mistake. I committed to my wife, and look what the fucking trouble I am in now. You know what I'm saying? So
I just feel like Mitchell Robinson is going to be like a defensive monster, man. I feel like he could be a defensive monster. Then outside of Mitchell Robinson, you got RJ Barrett. You got Donovan Mitchell. You got Jalen Brunson, right? It's different kind of pressure for each guy, right? Mitchell Robinson, can you show me something outside of 5 feet from the basket? Julius Randle, can you stop playing like a fucking bitch? RJ Barrett, can you stop having handle like a 3-year-old, and can you show me some type of skill?
Just get better, fam. Just get better.
Just get better. But that's what getting better. Show me some footwork.
Yeah.
You feel me? Donovan Mitchell, can you play? Can you show me that you didn't quit on Utah like you really did? Because we all know he did. That's the reason why he stopped playing defense. We know he quit.
Yeah.
We know he quit. We was watching playoffs. We know he quit. If I had a French motherfucker who was 7 foot that can't do nothing on offense, I'd quit too.
Yeah, I mean that's the fact. That's a fact of life too. Because I mean, like Donovan Mitchell, you saw what he did against Denver that time. Him and freaking my man from Denver. They was going Jamal Murray. You know, he should be coming back next season too. He's finally coming back from ACL. But I mean, they was going blow 50-point game. This game they was going at it. You know what I'm saying? So Donovan Mitchell has the ability to go to the next level. You know, but he chose not to do it because he said, "Look at what we got here." You know, look what we got here. You know what I'm saying? You want me to kill myself? You know, like this is not it. You know?
Yeah, man.
I'm by myself out here.
And that's what any basketball player, like when you on the court and you with 4 bums, you're gonna automatically think like, I don't know if I can win with these guys. Yeah. You know, doubt starts creeping in, man.
And one thing with Mitchell Robinson, right? I say everything I say about Mitchell Robinson, but Mitchell Robinson, at one time, if he would jump up, get the rebound, go back down, hit it one time, and then go back up and dunk it, I would be like, there you go. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? Get the ball, pivot, bounce, and up and dunk it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ask for. Get it, pivot, dunk is not there. You know, turn around, little hook shot. That's all I ask for, and then I would be, you know, on his side. You know, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that.
You could ask for it all next season. You know why? Because he got paid. So I don't have no more.
So maybe like I think Raph said that. Somebody said that training is expensive. Like get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Training is expensive. Listen, bro, I could train him. I could teach Mitchell Robinson a simple drop step move, man.
Yeah, Ralph.
And that's a fact because I have no stamina, but I was able to do that same move that I'm talking about against what's his name? Tony Crow in that game where I was freaking dying. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I still got moves. I just ain't got no stamina. My stamina is done.
Pay for trainers. You gotta pay for a trainer to up your skill level.
You just need somebody that's gonna like look at you and give you an honest assessment. You know what I'm saying? An honest assessment. You know, like I say, I'm gonna look at State and say, "Yo, State, man, you know what I see for you? I see you as an inside, 20-point a game scorer, 10 rebounds, 15 rebounds. That's what I see for you." You're gonna look at me and like, what, motherfucker? I'm like 6 foot and like a buck 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever you are. You want me to go in the post and guard who? Mitchell Robinson? You want me to guard Mitchell Robinson in the post? It don't make no sense.
Yo,
you got to be honest and look at somebody and say, listen, man, you would expand your game and do so well if you would do this. You know?
Yeah, nah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That see, and it's crazy you talk
It
about
is expensive, yeah.
you talk about expanding your game. Can Tibbs expand his coaching pen? That's the thing. Because yo, Eru, I swear to God, if we
Can Tom Thibodeau open up the top button of his shirt? God.
Yo, bro, if we come back next season and I'm watching the same fucking offense, bro, which I might be, yeah, I'm gonna lose my mind, Eru. That's why another reason why I want Donovan, because getting Donovan will force Tibbs to change completely, because the locker room will have a mutiny on you really fast.
Well, you know why I didn't like Woodson is because the play was, hey, everybody gather up, hey, calm down, quiet down. All right, we're gonna give it to Melo. That was the play, you know what I'm saying? So when freaking this guy Tom Thibodeau comes in there, he was like, hey, RJ, all right, next play, we're gonna give it to Donovan. Like, okay, thanks, great coach, you know.
Yeah, I hope he get it together, because having a Donovan, I don't know what type of personality Donovan is as far as like a player is concerned. I don't know if he's a diva like that. I don't think he's a diva. If he was a diva, he would have publicly already axed out of the Utah. But
well, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. You can't hide it. Most assholes, they can't hide it, yo. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna show you eventually, I'm an asshole. Look at me, watch me. You know, like Donovan Mitchell. He had an opportunity to do it, but he pulled himself out of it. And this, you know, he looks like Clark Kent right there. You know, he looks like fucking Clark Kent. You know, he don't look like he played basketball. He look like he just there for a business meeting or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, shout out to Donovan Mitchell, man.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that, like, when the shit is hitting the fan, he just like, yeah, you know, not really saying much. Like you could just feel his energy. Like, this motherfucker's not scared. You know, so like if you feel the energy where Donovan is like that, and like it can't help to radiate through everybody else. You know.
Yeah, man, and getting Donovan just bleeds confidence, bro. Like the confidence we would have, like, going into next season would be through the roof, bro. From the fan base, from
I'm just thinking about some shit. Go ahead.
From everybody, bro. Like, we will all, like, our confidence would be through the roof, bro. Because Donovan right now, he's the best shooting guard in the league to me right now, going into next season. You know what type of narratives I would construct with the Knicks getting the best shooting guard in the NBA, bro?
I already know. I can't wait to, because I don't engage you when you going crazy on Twitter. I know what's up, so I just let you go off, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is crazy. So I already know if it goes down, I already know what's gonna happen on Twitter. They're gonna fucking ban you again. That's what's gonna happen.
I told you, the person that was banning me off Twitter, he's blocked forever, man. He can never see my tweets ever again.
It's crazy.
I will never. That's never gonna happen again, man. I know this trade gonna go down though. It's gonna go down soon. I don't know when. No, it's gonna go down between September. It's gonna go down between August 25th and October.
Yeah, I can think that too. When is training camp exactly? Training camp starts. It got to start at the beginning of October, right?
Oh, yeah. I think it starts before October.
NBA training camp. I didn't feel like typing it in.
So let's see when NBA training camp starts. And
looking at Sporting News, I think that's the only thing I see. What are they talking about? It says the regular season. Wow, the regular season starts October 18th.
Jesus.
So I mean, like that August 30th date, you know, that dude posted. I think that might be it. They just might be waiting for certain restrictions on people's contracts in order for trades to go down.
Yeah,
it's like a formality. It might be something already agreed to, but they just have to wait for those players to be available.
But also keep in mind RJ Barrett's contract. You cannot re-sign RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish and have Donovan Mitchell on the roster. Well, and try to trade for Donovan Mitchell. They don't allow it no more.
Right.
This is the reason why the Brooklyn Nets with Ben Simmons, when it comes to Ben Simmons, they can't trade for Donovan Mitchell at all.
Right.
Because Ben Simmons is on the roster as well. So
well, I can't really see the exact date, but they already have like some Japanese games up for Wizards and the Warriors. That's September 30th. September 30th and October 2nd. So I guess September 30th, somewhere around there, that's when the season's training camp has got to be starting a little bit before that, maybe.
So
maybe like the second to last week in September.
I think like the second week of September, training camp will start.
Wow.
So I mean you gotta have Donovan Mitchell in the building before training camp, man. I gotta have him.
But that sounds so quick though, man. September, that sounds so quick. I guess they did change that though, because I remember training camp used to start like like in the beginning of October, and by the time Halloween comes, that's when the season starts.
Man, I remember that. I think they changed it due to COVID.
Yeah,
COVID changed everything, man. COVID is life.
Get rid of those back-to-back games and stuff,
Yeah. Life will never be the same after COVID. Whatever life you lived before 2019 it's just not going to be the same.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, every era goes through their own shit. Like we went through the crack epidemic. Like the 80s was a wash, man. Freaking Lenny Bias died over that shit, man. Over cocaine, man. Lenny Bias died. That whole draft class was a wash. That you can look at everybody that was drafted that year. Everybody was washed up from drugs in the beginning of that draft. So every era has their own thing. Then AIDS, Magic Johnson got AIDS and shit. Everybody was afraid of that. So every era goes through their little shock. So COVID is just that. We just got to deal with the aftermath of that.
Shit, COVID ain't AIDS. Shit.
I say that all the time to myself. I try not to put it on Twitter because sometimes you get frustrated and you want to just vent on Twitter, put something on there. But you're right about AIDS. Look at every show that you watch, say Power or any show. Like next thing you know, you seeing titties and then they just having sex. Like fuck, I ain't seen nobody pull no fucking rubbers out or nothing like that. Everybody just banging each other. AIDS, you just get AIDS. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have insurance, you got to pay for the pill. If you can't pay for the pill, then you're gonna die. You're gonna die, and you're gonna die bad too, and prolonged death. You know what I'm saying? COVID, you probably gonna live through it, unless you're already fucked up.
Yeah.
Then but that's the same thing with AIDS. If you're already fucked up, you're gonna get AIDS and die.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, nah, you right though. That's crazy because every era has gone through that significant change, man.
Yo, rest in peace to Bill Russell, man. The freaking civil rights era. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Black people couldn't even stay in the same hotels as their white teammates. You know what I'm saying? Cats are getting lynched and stuff, and they got to go play in the same arena down the block from where the guy got lynched. Imagine having to play in that era. Like that's one thing too. People make the joke about the plumbers and stuff. It's funny, but when you think about it, you're talking about the civil rights era. Who Bill Russell played against a bunch of plumbers? No, he played a bunch of strong ass black people. That was getting fucked up outside of the arena to play in that climate. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some respect on that era too.
That's exactly why I stopped calling those guys plumbers and firefighters, man. That's exactly why, bro. Because not every era is going to be the same, bro.
Yeah.
So you gotta show your respect all across the board, man.
Yeah.
And I thank God that I've had a chance to watch basically two basketball eras now because I watched 2000 and 2010. That was a whole different era. They loved mid-range shooting. They loved back to the basket. It was more slow-paced, tougher defenses. I remember when the Pistons in 2004 held the Lakers under 70 points with 4 Hall of Famers on the Lakers starting five.
Yeah.
That's how tough the defense was back then.
Yo, also too, I saw a video that woke me up because I stopped thinking. I forgot all about it. Back when the last championship that Jordan won, it was heavy with the illegal defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so bad that somebody that's literally close enough to double team could not double team, because if they went over to double team, it would be called illegal defense. You know what I'm saying? I got to find a video just so I can send it to you, so just so you can know what they're talking about. But it was like something so simple. It's like now stuff that we get on random about. Back in the days, it was straight illegal defense because there was no such thing as zone and all that. Like if you came over to help, you would be out of position, and they would call it illegal defense. So that was a big thing too. So little things about the game that evolved and changed, rule changes and stuff that also changed everything too. You know?
Yeah. So last thing. OG legit told me that they changed the hand check rule because of the Knicks. Is this true?
They basically changed it because of Derek Harper.
Because of the Knicks.
Yeah, Derek Harper literally had his hand up your ass. He had his hand up your ass, and you just couldn't move. You couldn't move him. And he was like 30, like he was like in his late in his career, 34 years old, whatever. And he's still locking cats up, still staying with dudes. It's not because he's so quick or whatever. It's because he put his hand on you and you couldn't move. And that was it. See, like now, here's the era too. Nowadays, you're not allowed to test the defender, but the offensive player is allowed to slap you and elbow you and all kind of stuff, and the referee don't call nothing. You know, that's something to be talked about too.
They definitely getting back to that type of physical play.
Yeah.
You kind of see it. It's gonna take like another year or so, but they definitely trying to get back to that physical play. Because I ain't gonna lie, that whole going full speed, stop, get the foul, shoot some bullshit up in it. That shit with y'all.
Yeah, it was so crazy that they would get fouled. Like the 4-point play. The 4-point play is bullshit, man. Like he got fouled, took 2 steps, then took the shot, and then they called the foul. That was crazy. That was crazy. But that's what he used to do. Jordan was a killer for that because Jordan used to hang in the air. He used to get fouled, take 2 steps, be way in the air, do a double pump and throw underneath it, and then they call a foul. It's like, yeah, that motherfucker done travel like 15 feet, and now you call a foul. But I mean, that was the rules back then. You know, that was the rules.
Oh man, Michael Jordan, Black Jesus.
Yo, the offense, the way that even the trainers teach it. Oh, to get free, bam, throw your elbow. You know, or if he reaches, smack his hand down. But if you did that, like in Chris Webber, when Chris Webber played the Lakers or whatever, every time Chris Webber tried to spin off, they called a freaking offensive foul.
Yeah, no, they was cheating.
They was cheating. That was legit cheating.
They was cheating. I remember that game. I was crying because of
I feel so bad for that cat, man.
Yo, I was 12 years old, Eru.
Yeah.
I was rooting heavy for the Kings. I hated the Lakers. Rooting heavy. That game 6, bro, the Lakers shot 27 free throws in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it was wild. It was just bugged out. And like I was saying with the offensive fouls, they just totally negated Chris Webber. Done. Because he couldn't move. Every time he moved, beep, they was calling something on him every single time. You know, technical fouls. He couldn't even be aggressive. It was crazy, man.
Yo,
I was upset though because Chris Webber's my era, man. You know, when he came through with from the Fab Five and stuff, I don't like, to this day, I'm 43 years old, man. To this day, I don't wear white socks because of Chris Webber. Chris Webber, you know, and Jalen Rose in the Fab Five. I don't wear white socks.
Wait, why? Why? Can you explain that? Because I would love
because they didn't wear white socks. They wore black socks and they wore black sneakers. Back in the days, it was taboo. You had to have white sneakers when you play ball, and you had to have white socks. But them, they showed up with the black Nike socks, and they had on the freaking Huaraches.
Wow.
Yeah, Huarache. They had the black and purple Huaraches, and then they had another colorway that was black and something else.
That was dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
so
dope.
To this day, bro, I don't wear white socks. I only wear black socks. I refuse to wear white socks. I would never wear white socks.
Where's the Dr. Umar? The Dr. Umar experience, man? You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious?
Yeah, man.
Oh God, man.
Yeah, but that ball of life shit is everything, man. Like it's contest. You know, like it's like you just. My thing with sports, whatever, like guys that are older, they always want to say their era was better. Young people want to fight back and say their era was better. Fuck you, old man. Fuck you, young boy. You know, everybody's saying fuck you on both sides, but it's like, yo, sit back and just enjoy what's happening because you really are missing the whole thing. Like basketball, like we love basketball. So it's like we can argue it. That's what's fun about it. We can argue and shit like that, but don't miss the era. Don't miss what's happening. You know, because like now, like right now, you like this is our era here. Boom, this is what it is. But then, like, yo, you're gonna be 41 one day. You know, everybody that's like in their 20s now talking all that shit. Once in like 20 years, when they're 40, there's gonna be some asshole that's not even born yet. Matter of fact, is gonna be talking that shit to you, and you can be like, yo, man, what the fuck you talking about? I've been a, you know, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same shit over and over and over again. You know. Oh,
yo, shout out to Kareem Grant, man. Shout out to Kareem Grant with the good old $5 super chat. I was fortunate to witness the late 80s when the slogan was the Knicks are coming on strong in the 90s Knicks.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
You see that hat, right? The state of mind?
Yes, sir. That's the thing. And this is our last thing. I guess we can talk about this and then we can get out of here. I don't want the Knicks to make the same mistake they made in the 90s. That's my thing. You had Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland on your roster. You let both of those go while you had Patrick Ewing on your roster. Do not make the mistake of having RJ Barrett on the roster while at this moment. Cool. He's not a superstar yet. He's not a star. He's not an all-star. He's not whatever you want to call him. Don't make the mistake of having him on this roster right now and not trying to go get Donovan Mitchell. I don't want to be 45 years old, bro. I'm 32 now. I don't want to be 45 on Twitter and I wake up 45 years old and I say, damn, man, why the Knicks 10 years ago ain't get me Donovan Mitchell?
And there's some young boys go, man, fuck Donovan Mitchell. He wasn't shit, motherfucker. He used to play with fucking he used to play with lawyers and doctors, you fucking asshole. You know?
Oh man, I just don't want them to make that same mistake again, man. We are primed for a superstar right now, bro. The Knicks and Giants right now is in the same spot. Whole bunch of talent across the roster, no clear guy. Giants, their quarterback sucks. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say about Daniel Jones. I never needed 5 years to evaluate a franchise quarterback on no planet. The Knicks, right now, as it currently stands, you look across the roster, you got a bunch of meh. I might call RJ Barrett, whatever I want to call him. I might think he's great right now. Another person come up, meh. Randall, meh. Grimes, meh. Brunson, you just gave him on him, meh.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about life is that you get old enough to talk about. So, remember we used to argue about RJ Barrett? You know what I'm saying? Where the fuck is that motherfucker at now, man? He probably in Canada somewhere.
He better not make me look dumb, man. All this capping I've been doing for him in the past 4 years, he better become a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You saying, yeah, motherfucker. If he become a Hall of Famer, motherfucker, that means we want to rank.
Damn right.
Shit.
Yeah. Shit. But you know, like all the New York teams, though, like you mentioned the Giants and the Jets, you know, they're in a point now where maybe like in 2 years, 2-3 years, they could be in the championship. You know, the Knicks are preparing themselves to get in the championship probably in the next 2-3 years, probably. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Yankees. Yankees might win one this year. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And they got pieces in place to keep winning. You know, the Mets too. The Mets got pieces in place to be in the mix too. Look at the Rangers. Shout out to the one of the football teams, soccer teams. They just recently won.
Yeah. Shout out to the Liberty. They just made the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think the Liberty, they got the momentum. I think they might actually make some noise in the playoffs too.
Yo, man. So New York Sport. I think honestly, can I say to you that the last decade was the worst in New York sports history?
It's a fact. The last 20 years, the only team, the Giants. The Giants won 2.
Yankees won 1. Yankees won in 2009.
Right. Okay. Yeah. They won in 2009. So, but we had droughts though. We didn't win before until it was like 2001 or whatever it was.
2002, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. So we didn't win for a while, you know, for our team. So it's coming. It's coming back.
Yeah, it's on its way. The Jets, salute the Jets fans. I seen the Zach Wilson injury. Thank God the boy didn't get an ACL injury. Yeah. But But even the Jets, they got a nice little young core. So I'm not gonna be tuning into Jets and Giants games this season and be like, damn, man, I'm a little mad. But you know, we're almost there.
Yeah,
right? We're almost there.
You see this shit here too, man. This is a domino effect too, because I mean, you know, you can even go even further back to, you know, I mean, you can just keep going further back, but I mean, talk about Xavier McDaniel. Why didn't we keep Xavier McDaniel? We let go of Xavier McDaniel. We never replaced him. We ended up trading Mason to get Larry Johnson, but then you got Oakley. So you got Oakley and Larry Johnson on the same team. Don't make no sense. Then we trade Oakley for Camby. You know what I'm saying? We never fixed the small forward spot. We at one point we had Charles Smith as well too. Playing small forward. We all fucked up.
Can I fight back against that? Why every trade you just said sounded like a good move, but the luck that the Knicks got, it just went sour.
Yeah, Larry Johnson hurt his back, fucking shit in the bed every night. You know, his back hurt so much, you know, you can't even feel himself shitting himself. You know, Charles Smith, you know, why did we do that? We traded Charles Smith, but didn't get rid of Oakley, you know, and then Oakley and Charles Smith had to play together. It don't make no sense.
Who got more heart, Charles Smith or Julius Randle? My fault. I didn't.
What the fuck?
I had to put that poll on Twitter.
Oh my! I had to put
that poll.
Yeah, that need to go on Twitter for real. Like, damn, who got more heart? Oh my god, who do people hate more, Charles Smith or Julius Randle?
Who got more heart, Charles Smith or Julius Randle?
Damn, son.
We gotta think about this.
Whew. I gotta say Charles Smith, because Charles Smith is a power forward. He averaged 20 points a game as a power forward. Came to the Knicks, and now he's guarding Scottie Pippen in the playoffs.
I mean, is that his fault or is that coaching?
But he had to do it. If he wanted to play, he had to guard Scottie Pippen, and he's outmatched every night.
When I see Charles Smith's stats on the Clippers, he was averaging 20.
Killing. He did it twice on the Clippers.
Do you think Randle would have dunked the ball or laid the ball up in that Charles Smith moment? I just gotta ask, bro. Sorry.
In that situation, I think he would have threw the ball out of bounds. He would have got mad. He would have cursed the referee out. He got kicked out the game. He would have got 2 shots and a foul, and then the game would have just got blown out of proportion. And there you go. That's what would have happened.
Oh God, man, the Knicks. Why every Knicks team got a player we hate, man?
It's always somebody. It's always somebody.
Oh man, I remember when I hated Enes Kanter, and he was starting over Mitchell Robinson, and I remember on Christmas Day he had 31 and 22, and Knicks fans was getting on Twitter like, "Yo, that's our center for the future. Why we gotta trade him?"
Yeah, I remember Jared Jeffries, man. Jared Jeffries drive down the lane and hit the bottom of the rim on a layup.
Oh God, that's
you know, God damn it, Jared Jeffries. You know, he was something else, man.
Yo, do you remember what Jared? I think it was the Knicks versus the Nets or either the Celtics, and Melo had 40 plus off jump shots, and Jared Jeffries missed the game-winning layup.
Oh man,
it's time to put up the Apple Podcast.
Yeah, and the irony with that shit too is that Jared Jeffries wanted to kick Melo's ass over that fight too, the Marty Collins fight.
Oh, get the fuck, man! Yo, viewers on Apple Podcast.
You see how the timeline gets crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like he misses the game winning shot or whatever, but then if rewind just a couple years, like he wanted to kick Melo's ass for slapping Marty Collins.
Oh God, dude. Knick history.
Yeah.
But salute to Knick fans who tuned in to the pod today.
Yeah,
y'all know where to find us: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, all of these places, man. Just type in diehard Knicks pod type in state.
Yo, Knicks, man. Don't do it, man. Come on. Miss Fish Slips, it looked like his chapstick was made of freaking crazy glue, man. Like using crazy glue for chapstick.
Oh God. Oh God. Shout outs to Jared Jeffries, man. Once a Knick, always a Knick, right? Wait, hold on. I got a last question.
It's always gonna be a last question though.
Who you hate more, Jared Jeffries or Alfred Payton? Man,
it's still Jared Jeffries, man. It's still Jared Jeffries.
I gotta put that polo to the right.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But at least Jared Jeffries, you know I can go on a fishing trip with him and probably have the time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because he could fish. He's like a world-class fisherman. So I know if I would go fishing with him, me and him have a time of our life. Like he'd probably be my best friend. But if I go hang out with Alfred Payton, you know, I don't think I guarantee I'm not gonna have a good time. I don't think I'm gonna have a good time with that guy.
Yo, Eru, I see you next pod.
Yeah, I'll see you next time, man. But like I said, like these pods are crazy because, like, you know, we can just go because we just off the love of the game alone, we can just go on forever just talking, just me and you.
Yeah, man. Look, Alfred got busy. That's my time to go, man. That's my time to go. Yo, salute to everybody.
He did, though. He did.
Yo, I'm not doing this tonight, man. Yo,
he averaged 16, 6, and whatever it was, you know.
Yo, shout outs to Kano. 19-man comment, NYC, Joe Curry, all you guys, Log, Eddie C, all you guys that tuned into the pod.
Clutch B-Ball, what's good, Clutch B-Ball?
Yo, what's up, Clutch, man? Appreciate you, bro. Kareem Grant, shout outs to you, man. I'm not doing this with Eru tonight. I want to have a good night. I'm happy.
You wanted me to be mad tonight. What the fuck is that about? You was like, yo, I want you to have a bad day today.
Yeah,
like, God, what the fuck?
I thought I'm not used to you smiling so much. Man.
I smiled for 2 hours today, man. I smiled for 2 hours today. Today was a good day.
Oh man. Salute to you, Eru, man. Let me get out of here. Salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. Diehard State of Mind. I don't even know what fucking episode this is. Probably like 93 or something like that.
Yeah, we did a lot of episodes, man.
We closing in on 100. So, episode 100, we gotta have some type of special guest or something. So I'm gonna see what me and Eru could cook up. But appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm out of here. It's your boy State. Eru, I'm out of here, my guy. Peace out, buddy.
Peace, bro.